Wait for it. Wait for it. Well, hey, this is another episode of episode 14 of the Weekly Wellness Show. And today's topic we're going to discuss, it's time to release the rage. And obviously that was, Rage Against the Machine. And, we're living through some difficult times right now, very challenging times, unusual times. And, it's not something to make a joke of, by the way, but, this is how people are feeling, even myself. I mean, we are going on 3 months. 3 months of this COVID-19, 3 months of living in fear, 3 months of the media telling us nothing but bad stuff. And how can, and then we have, some incredible things that have happened in this country too with, with everything with Black Lives Matter, the unfortunate, death that happened in Minneapolis, due to the police brutality. I mean, there's so many things that this country's going through right now. And I kind of compare us as a race, okay? I kind of compare us as a race to almost like a wild animal that's been caged, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, I mean, we're not wild animals, but the thing is, think about it. We are not designed as a race or to be enclosed, to be indoors, to be locked down, okay? We need to get out there. Is it any surprise that we're having riots, that we're having looting, that we're having protests, whether they're peaceful or not? I mean, this is America finally saying, hey, enough is enough. We need to get out. I mean, you can't keep caging us. And by the way, what coronavirus? Okay, that's the other thing too. Ever since these riots have happened, we got all kinds of things going on, right? So the coronavirus has kind of gone by the wayside, and now it's all about, hey, look, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, and that kind of thing. So, what do we do? How do we, get this tension out? How do we just release the rage, as we call it, in a peaceful way? All right. So there's all kinds of ways of doing this. One is, well, hey, I love listening to music, going for a walk, just going to my quote unquote beach that I have in my head, meditation, things like that. But I think really a lot of people now, they've had enough of all this. They can only watch so much Netflix, can only do so much stuff in home. We want the country to open up again. And we're in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I don't care what anyone says. Nothing's going on around here. I mean, I don't trust any of the data, because it's been skewed. We're being lied to. I'm talking to other doctors, physicians around up and down the peninsula here in California. They're even going, what are we doing? It's time to open up the economy here. Let's go. And I think we're all looking at, what can we do to have a normal life again? So, putting all that aside, what do we got to do? So a couple tips I have for you as far as how to release the rage and, how to have that normalcy again is one, first of all, take some deep breaths. I mean, look, we've all been through a lot here, right? Sometimes just closing your eyes and taking 3 minutes worth of deep breaths can be some of the best things to do to kind of calm down. And also too, get your headsets on and listen to whatever you like to listen to, whether it's a podcast, whether it's something soothing, some kind of music, something like Rage Against the Machine, where you can kind of jump around in a room and, think that you're in a concert when you're not, but just something where you can just get some tension off of too. All right. And also too, how, look at, what's been going on in America because of this. I have a few police officers that I see, obviously the amount of domestic violence or domestic issues have been brought to their attention. A lot of people are ready to get a divorce, bolt on their spouses or loved ones or domestic partners, whatever you want to call it, because, what do we got to do next? I mean, this is just weird. It's weird to be in this situation. And it also gives us a sense of gratitude too, because it really shows us, all right, being that we've been in this dark, what is it that we truly need and get to look forward to again when that time comes? So I think we're, even for me, I mean, I used to work, long periods of hours during the day. And because of COVID, I've been reducing my hours down to almost like 5 to 6 hours a day. I get here at 8 in the morning. I'm done around 2 or 3. It's been nice, and we're still productive. So we're starting to see more traffic on the streets. We're starting to see more gas prices go up again. But life is starting to come back here in this, almost come mid-June of 2020. So, what is that we got to do? Well, for one thing is you really got to find out. I think we all need a vacation. All right. For one thing, I know I do. We were about ready to go on a vacation to celebrate our 12-year anniversary, my wife and I. That literally was canceled for obvious reasons. And now we're looking at, okay, where do we want to go? Where do we want to go to just relax? Or where do we want to go to get a sense of adventure? So we can get that adrenaline rush, kind of release the the rage that way too. And seeing what's open, what's going to be available. And we're probably looking at doing some kind of vacation or some kind of excursion, not until at least, I think September, around that time, late August or about mid-September. I, for one, love going to warm weather climates. So, obviously I'm from Hawaii. Didn't know so already. So, I want to go back to Hawaii and get on the beach. I want to just chill and relax and, go on some tours, and be a tourist. It's always fun to do. But also, too, I want to see what other adventures are out there that I have yet to explore that may not be so physical, but just something that is just stimulating to the mind where I can appreciate, the beauty, that I've been so locked down to not seeing because of this fear of, again, that fear, right? Or that fear of the unknown of, hey, if I go somewhere, am I going to be quarantined? I know there's been a big increase in boat sales. People want to get their own boats and they go on the water. They don't have to worry about being quarantined if they travel anywhere. So it's all kinds of things to consider. But yeah, we're definitely planning a vacation. We're definitely looking at what can we do to enjoy ourselves and to just reflect and just have a good time and get back to some normalcy again. And I got to tell you too, think about it. There's a lot of crazy things going on right now, and I can't blame the people for how they're reacting. Now, I don't condone any violence. I don't condone wrecking people's businesses that they work so hard for. But at the same time, none of this surprises me because, like I said, when you lock down people for an exorbitant amount of time, being 3 months now, and you tell them they can't do something, well, guess what the natural thing is? Hey, they're going to rebel. All right, and it's going to look like when you got people that they want to go back to work again. They need to pay the bills. We look at businesses that are closing, especially the restaurant business. Big box stores. Everything is changing. So how do we pivot? How do we get out of this, right? And that's where we really have to, be sensitive, be compassionate to others, especially respectful, to what other people are going through. I personally, have an issue with. Well, first of all, wearing masks. I just think it's going to make the problem worse because. Especially now, we have the cleanest air possible, and we're outside seeing people wearing a mask while they're outside, not breathing the true air that they should be breathing. Like I said, this is the cleanest air we've ever had in I think our lifetime. And that's my personal thing. Okay, so, but I am very respectful of what other people are doing because. That's what they feel that they need to do to protect themselves and others. So it all goes around one way or another. But at the same time. What is it that we can do to help ourselves do that? One is open those lines of communication, especially with your spouse. Find out, hey, what's going on here? How you doing? Check in with yourselves regularly. Call friends, family members you haven't spoken to in a while. Reconnect with them. Maybe tell them you love them for the first time in a long time. I'm calling my cousins. I'm calling relatives I haven't spoken to in a while just to see how they're doing. Because sometimes if I just take all this focus off of me and what, woe is me, and just kind of put it on other people to see like, hey, not for me, but how's everyone else doing? How are they dealing with things? I have some friends that are black too, or patients, and I'm asking them, hey, how are you doing with all this that's been going on the last 2 weeks? How are you coping? How are you functioning with this? And have that empathy. And that's another big way too to, of really releasing the rage in a very peaceful ways, just have empathy towards other people and what they're going through. Because in the end, if we just focus on ourselves too much, after a while, that gets old. But, when you show that empathy and compassion towards other people, people really get a chance to see the human in you, the human factor, rather than just like, what does the data say of what we should do and not do? I think that's greatly missing in this, during these challenging and very stressful times. So, A couple things is, take the stress away from you by seeing how others are doing. See what they're doing to cope with what's going on. How are they communicating with their family members? How are they communicating at work? What are some other ways we're a race that, not so much a race, but a society where we can always learn more. How can we better ourselves by doing things differently, yet being productive and effective, and most importantly, efficient, in a peaceful way. So I hope you enjoy those tips today. By the way, I am kind of a metalhead. I have been, I'm one of those 80s kids, and, seeing how my hair's been growing out since mid-March, it's been kind of fun having this long hair, reminding me of the days of the old. But anyways, I hope you found this of value. Like I said, if, just to make sure you're all alive, please hit subscribe. And then at the same time, stay well. Please click that bell. All right, mahalo. And go out there and release the rage in a peaceful way. All right, aloha.